So in Kundalini yoga practice, there is a teaching that you wear your hair in a turban, a white turban, and up on top of your head. And that is how you wear your hair during yoga. And Kundalini yoga is loosely based on Sikhism. And in that faith, they wear white, just like in Kundalini yoga, and wear white turbans. White, because white reflects all energy, just like it reflects all light, and that's what makes it white. White is the basic energy frequency, the color white, that bounces off all other energetic frequencies. So it's not just color frequencies, it's other stuff too. So extrasensory frequencies and things like that. And here's the other thing about your hair. So this is actually why that is. So here's why that is. Your hair, this is the good stuff. Your hair is actually your extrasensory receptors. It is your antenna. It is the human antenna. We did not evolve as mammals from like billions of years of evolution to suddenly be a creature that doesn't have any antenna. I.e. whiskers. And other animals such as birds have feathers, and those actually operate as antenna too. They train in with the quantum field, and the feathers are able to pick up on energies and transmit energies back into the quantum field. That's how geese communicate with each other. It's electromagnetism based on the antenna that they have. And birds are very, very highly developed in their antenna. That's why they're such a spiritual kind of animal. And a lot of times, birds are often associated with people who have passed on coming back and sending messages. They're often associated with messages from the divine, things like that. Okay, so just like cats, we actually evolved to have our antenna on our head. This is the most highly developed antenna of any animal. Your hair is actually also the part of your body that is most involved in metabolizing vitamin D. Your hair. Like, didn't we all think that hair is just some dead thing on top of your head that's like fun to play with, and it's an expression of us, and we all think like, okay, we're very open-minded and things like that, like thinking, okay, people should be able to do anything with their hair, of course. But the thing is, that we have actually, as a species, and mostly in Western culture, have completely lost the cultural and societal memories, the collective memories of how the hair really functions for a human, because your hair is actually your antenna that connects you to God. Like what you were picking up with your antenna, with your whisker, like your cat's whiskers, and what you're picking up on when you train into the quantum field. The quantum field is source energy. This is spirit. This is God. Your hair connects you to that field, and it actually metabolizes vitamin D it metabolizes light and metabolizes or it takes in light and metabolizes vitamin D. So let's think about it. Is there not like a huge problem with people having vitamin D deficiency in our society? Think about it. Also, and furthermore, you think about people get haircuts okay. So your hair also grows out, and it gets to a certain length, and it's your body's natural length that calibrates the length of your hair, the texture, the color, all of those things, in order to be able to process light in a certain way. Curly hair processes and operates as an antenna in a different way, slightly different way than straight hair does. Blonde hair and white hair take in light in a different way than dark hair. And so your body actually grows your hair to a certain length and then stops. It knows exactly how long your antenna needs to be in order to be able to connect with light and connect with source energy. And then it stops feeding as much energy into trying to grow your hair. So this means that your body otherwise has a length of hair that it wants you to be, that's the perfect length of hair, and otherwise your hair is going to keep growing and growing out until it reaches that point, at which point your body naturally diverts the energy and the attention from growing hair to other processes in the body. And getting it to the right length helps to calibrate all the vitamin D that's coming in, all these things. In our culture too, people get haircut. This is what I started to say a minute ago, but people get haircuts all the time. Like, especially women, it's like this, it's empowering. It's an empowering thing. Like, hair in any capacity can be used or is like often associated with this like self-empowerment and this like expression of your personality and who you are. But like women getting haircuts, older women especially getting haircuts all the time, you're actually reducing the amount of vitamin D that you're processing, and therefore you're interrupting the ability of your body to process calcium, because you need vitamin D in order to be able to metabolize calcium. And do women not have their widespread issues with osteoporosis and calcium deficiency? And I would be interested in knowing among that group, and probably and let's talk about women, because that's as far as I know, that's like the big, and maybe it's men too, but that's the bulk of the people. But if you could survey people somehow and do a study on like associations with getting your hair cropped really short for your whole life, how that affects like your bone density later on, because otherwise, your body can do other stuff and start and use that energy that it would be putting towards growing new hair into growing healthier bones. So the thing with putting your hair in a turban is that you're actually protecting your energy, and you're kind of insulating it from outside energies. This also works if you put your hair, a lot of the time, most of the time even, I used to wear my hair down all the time, and I am in this video obviously, but I mostly wear it in a braid or on top of my head right now. And a lot of that is because of these things that I've learned about hair that completely make sense. But you put your hair in a bun on top of your head, high up on your head, because it actually protects your crown chakra and connects you. It functions as the better transmitter and transmuter of the energy around you, the God source energy, into your crown chakra. This is your fontanelle up here. There's a little where a baby has a soft spot, and that is actually the location of your crown chakra. If you protect it by putting your hair up on your head, you are actually also making your hair hyper efficient at conducting energy. This is also the same if you put your hair in a braid. If you wear your hair in a braid, you're both protecting your hair from outside energies. Like when you go out and about, like your hair is constantly picking things up. If you want to protect your energy, a good way of doing that is putting your hair up. And if you wear it in a braid, it is both protected and it is also just like a bun on top, or similar to a bun on top. A braid conducts electricity very efficiently compared to just wearing your hair down. And this is because, like in an electric circuit, if you have a coil or a wire, if you coil up a wire in which an electric, which you're feeding, that is being used for an electric circuit, if you coil it up, it actually increases the power of that transmission. It increases the magnetic field that's around the circuit of energy. And this is the same as if you coil your hair up and put it on top of your head, or if you wear it in a braid, or like wear it in dreads. That is why there are dreads is a very it's often seen as like a very spiritual kind of practice, and it's obviously it's very integrated with certain cultures, and this really comes from these teachings of the way to naturally process energy in this efficient and high and like amazing way so that you can connect in with spirit. There are actually different numbers of dreads that correspond to like different levels of enlightenment and things like that. So you can look up what the holy numbers of dreads are, that like 72 I think is one of them. But people in certain cultures in the East will get these very particular numbers of dreads in order to channel energy in a different way. So this is also true if you dye your hair or bleach it. You are interrupting your ability. And I get highlights, or I always have, like minor ones. My hair is still blonde, but I'm like trying not to anymore and trying not to cut my hair, which is a little crazy, I know, but even dyeing your hair, you are changing your body's ability to calibrate light. It calibrates through the color as well. That's why we go gray. It's because your body is diverting energy to your bones and things like that, instead of and processing light in a different way. Like, it is calibrating how much your body can actually take in and how much your body needs. And so when we are constantly coloring our hair and dyeing it back black when it's white and things like that, I am concerned that this is also contributing to other types of health issues. And I've always loved like people to express themselves through their hair in any way they want to. So this is it's a weird kind of perspective that I've stumbled into and researched, that it makes sense to me too. It takes 3 years to regrow. The tip of your hair is like the most sensitive part and of your antenna. It's like the most developed. And so and once you cut it, it takes like 3 years for the end of your hair to redevelop as like your body thinks the end of your hair is always going to be the end of your hair, because as it grows, and if you don't cut it, it's never, the end of your hair is always the end of your hair. And so your body sees it as the end of your hair and stops trying to grow out these like trying to grow out and pump down nutrients into like creating a new, a more developed antenna than is there after you cut your hair. Okay, that got scrambled, but I hope that kind of makes sense. It takes 3 years to regrow the antenna after. So that's my spiel on hair. As usual, we've been talking for 13 minutes or something, even though this was going to be short. So thanks for hanging in there, and I will see you soon.